Some of the major changes that I've seen here at Auburn High School, which are not necessarily physical, just a building and a respect for the art of theater and for wanting to participate in theater and really do a good job. I remember when I first started here, we might have had 10 people that showed up for auditions. Now we have 60 plus that want to be a part of the program, and we've included more students, not just in acting but in backstage and technical and production and art students and orchestra students playing in the musicals that we've done. So that's been a big change, just seeing that respect for the art, for the performing arts, and that drive just to be a part of it. So that's cool.
Wow, major changes I've seen at Auburn High. One would be the expansion of curriculum to add so many more electives in all of your core areas, English, math, social studies, and science, but also expansion of our fine arts program and also in our career tech electives. Athletics has come on strong. The balance of winning programs in male and female athletics over the past years has definitely been some changes that I've seen.
I've seen students take advantage of more class opportunities. I've seen the school turn into more of a college atmosphere of being able to choose the classes you want instead of being forced into other classes. And I'm looking forward to seeing even more of that at the new school.
When I first started here, we were graduating like 300 people. And 12 years later, we're going to graduate over 600. So there's a ton more kids here, which means there's a ton more teachers. That's probably the biggest difference. It's really crowded.
The major change I've seen is obviously size. I think everybody understands that we're overcrowded and that we don't have as much room, and we're looking forward to getting more room, and that's one of the major purposes of moving to the new high school.
Some of the major changes, the culture has changed a little bit because of technology, and so when I first started here, things that you would say were like, there was a more narrow spectrum of things that were acceptable to say, but now with like the meme culture, there's so many so many extreme ideas out there now and statements out there. People just say things that they used to not say.
Mainly what I have seen are physical, because when I went to school here, there wasn't that gym or the 800 building or the 9,000 building. But we've also watched the 9th grade get moved out to the junior high as the school's gotten bigger and bigger, large student population. I just grew up here, growing up here in Auburn and graduating from Auburn High School. For me, getting that foundation and just graduating from here was big.
I got married when I first started teaching here, and it was really funny to see how long it took students to learn my new name, and it was really fun to get engaged and kind of go through the whole wedding planning process while I was here with students, and they were just happy for me and had fun planning it with me.
Let's see, I got married when I was teaching at this school, my summer after my first year in 2006. My daughter was born while I was teaching here in 2011. My son was born while I was teaching here in 2013. Indiana fired their head basketball coach here. That was a big deal.
Oh my gosh, an important life event that I've experienced here. Well, when I first started teaching here, my children were not in high school yet. That was back in 2004, and both of my children, who are now young adults, came through the program at Auburn High School and have graduated from Auburn High School. And so in experiencing that with them as a parent and as a teacher, and being a part of their lives, being a part of my life and growing this program has been very significant.
Wow, some important life events. Certainly in 1999, the student body voted me to be the recipient for the yearbook dedication. Then certainly in school year 2011-2012, when the staff voted me to receive the Auburn High School Teacher of the Year, and then the Auburn City School Board selected me as Auburn City Schools Secondary Teacher of the Year. Those not only were life events, but they were also career highlighting events.
So yeah, I've had some life changes here. I got engaged when I was working here. I got married while I was working here. I had 2 children while I was working here. And I think I became a real Christian while I was working here. I grew up in church, but I don't think I was a real Christian for a long time. And so almost every great thing that's happened in my life has happened. I didn't realize that. But while I was working at this building. So it was interesting.
Every day's a life event. You know, anytime you can interact with someone and get to know them better and develop a relationship with them, that's a life event. But the one I think that sticks out in my mind the most, and I'm not going to remember the year exactly, I think it was 2011, when the tornado hit and it went across the other side of campus. We all came together that day as the Auburn High family. Fortunately, no one was hurt. We had some property damage. We closed the school. There were people, there was a good bit of property damage around in the area, and families, parents wanted getting the kids out of school, but nobody panicked. Everybody worked in a coordinated effort in the afternoons after that storm was over to get everybody out of here, make sure no one was hurt, and get the school shut down so we could make the necessary repairs. So I think the Auburn family, the Auburn High School family was really shining that day. We all came together.
The first major life event that I experienced at this high school was I started working here at Auburn High School in August of 2001. So September 11th, 2001 was my very first major life event that I experienced here, and it's part of the big memories I have about this school because the faculty and the students all reacted so beautifully and came together instead of falling apart, and that was a really spectacular thing.
Oh man, there's no such thing as the most memorable, because there's been some unforgettable stuff happen. So one morning I did push-ups before I came to work, and then I came to work and I forgot, it dawned on me, oh, I forgot to put on deodorant. And I was like, it's no big deal, like it's probably, nobody will notice. And then by second block, like I could smell myself a little bit, but nobody else seemed to notice. And so I thought, well, I'm just gonna try to stay away. So by third block, my teacher aide came in and he was audibly sniffing, like I could hear like that, and he came and sat, he like stood right over me, and I was just trying to pretend like nothing was going on doing my computer, you know, and he was like, Mr. Cox, it stinks in here. And I was like, yeah, it kind of does, doesn't it? He was like, Mr. Cox, it smells like body odor in here, and you're the only one in the room like right now. And I was like, okay, listen, just don't tell anybody. Sure, I forgot my deodorant today, just back off, you know.
The most memorable moment would have to be the Blacklight Pep Rally this year. It was really, really fun for everybody, and it was really entertaining and cool to see all of the different events and activities that each organization had planned for that pep rally.
My best memories here have all been with the English department. The English department is a team and a group of friends, and a group of people that I'm just glad have come into my life, and we've had parties together, and we've had wonderful happy things happen, and we've had devastatingly sad things happen, and it's always stuck together as a team, and that's one of the most wonderful things about the school.
My most memorable moment at Auburn High School. From 2000 to 2009, I served as senior class sponsor. And there were so many memories that went along with that. Everything from float building at the Armory when we used to have homecoming parades, to class t-shirts, pep rallies. And it would be hard to single out one of those moments as something that is most memorable.
You know, to say that one moment is greater than another, they're all extraordinary life moments. You know, the things that happen in the Auburn High family, the things that happen within these halls and within these doors and on this campus, any one of those events, anything that I were to say to a student, or a student say to me, or students say to each other, positive things, negative things, any event can be a life-changing event for someone. And I think because we are such a diverse population, that everything that we do, every little act of kindness, every little act of caring is a life-changing event for someone. So I think we're filled with life-changing events every day. Every event's important. So I can't name just one particular one, but you know, a hug from a student, a thank you to a co-teacher, you know, support from an administrator, a thank you note from a student, anything like that. All of those can be life-changing events in some way.
The most important relationships, have had to do with the kids, obviously. You know, getting to know kids who then become adults, who then become colleagues. I actually have several people working here at the school right now who are teaching here at the school whom I taught when they were in 8th grade or 9th grade or 10th grade. And so watching the kids grow up.
I mean, one of the best people I've met is Mr. Dyer. He's a winner, right? And we've worked together since I got here for the 13-year span. He was here before I got here. And the other teachers, they're all winners. The art teachers, you know, and I don't want to name a bunch of names. I'll say Mr. Dyer and a lot of other teachers. That'll keep me out of hot water.
I have formed some of my closest friendships here because your coworkers are the people that you spend the majority of your life with besides your family. So I've developed some really close relationships with a lot of coworkers here that have just made my life so much easier and made it so much more enjoyable on hard days.
Here in the Performing Arts Department, just having that combination and that camaraderie of the choral director, Mr. Smith, the band director, Mr. Cothran, and before him it was Dr. Logan, and then also having Miss Karen Hall, an English teacher, and come together with me and us become this collective team, and that's been very important. In fact, this last season here, you know, when our motto became "Teamwork can make the dream work," and that is so true, and that's just been a great blessing and joy to me.
I started here in the fall of 2005, and in the fall of 2007, I met my teaching soulmate, Lee Owen, and she and I have been tag teaming U.S. history for the last 10 years together. Seen a lot, seen too much.
Well, what's the most important relationship that I've made here? I mean, some of the best friends that I have in life, they came from Auburn High School. They were fellow students with me when I was coming through Auburn High, and they graduated with me. And I'm still extremely close to several of those guys that I grew up with. So y'all enjoy your time with each other.
I've got a lot of relationships with a lot of students that have come through my program, and we're still, you know, we were student teachers at the time, and now we're colleagues. We still communicate with each other, you know, via social media, phone calls. We still keep up with each other with jobs and what they're doing and relationships. So I can name some names, but I'm afraid I'd leave someone out. But it's easy to build a relationship here.
The most important lesson I've learned at Auburn High, I mean, this is the only place I've taught for 12 years, but you work with great people, and being able to work together and collaborate on stuff and laugh and realize that while this is a big deal and it's serious, the most important thing is relationships with each other, with teachers, and even with the kids. But that's the most important thing, and that's what I learned early on, and it stuck with me.
Most important lesson, don't take yourself too seriously and don't take the day too seriously. When I first started teaching, I put a lot of pressure on myself to make everything perfect every day, and that's just not realistic. So most important lesson I've learned is a valuable one for teaching, which is just take things as they come, and it's okay if it's not perfect, as long as you're teaching your subject, your curriculum right, and you're having fun doing it, you're doing it right.
The most important lesson in the 20 years I've been here is that never think that the things that you say and do don't mean something to somebody, because they do. It may be someone who's just standing over to the side and just kind of watching how things are going on, or watching how you're acting, or watching what you're listening to what you're saying. So every little thing can mean something. Those are all important things. Those are all important lessons to learn. I think that single lesson, that if we just remember that every little thing we say, every little thing we do means something to somebody.
I think be nice to people is the long and short of it. There's lots of kinds of people, and you just should be nice to all of them. Sometimes it's okay to tease them, but be nice to them.
Wow, the most important lesson I've learned in my time at Auburn High School, always be yourself. Be honest with your students. If they ask you a question and you don't know an answer, don't try and fake your way through it. Just say, hey, look, I don't know the answer. Give me a couple of days and I'll find out for you. So being honest with yourself, being true to yourself, always being who you are, not being one way here at school and another way outside of school is certainly important.
The most important lesson that I've learned here at Auburn High School, a couple of things, is just one is to be flexible as a teacher, as a colleague, but most importantly for me as a teacher, that it's not about me. The program is not about me, and the more that I have learned to let students take ownership of this program and to really work and to develop their skills of leadership and creativity has been just freeing, not only for me, because I don't have to do it all and know it all and be all correct all the time and have all the answers, but it's also allowed students to develop in ways that as a new teacher I probably wasn't allowing them to do. So learning that it's not necessarily about me, but it's about them.
I've learned that a school or a place where you come together and where people really care and value one another is bigger than any one person, and that we all work together, and that changes and people come and go, but if you keep working together, you keep working for a purpose, like educating people or helping young people decide what their lives are going to be, then that place becomes much more than just a place.